Hey you. Yeah, you. Love the show and want more content? Want to be part of some of our hilarious adventures? Ever wish you could be part of the squad and team up with us in our fight to save the galaxy? Well, now you can. Head over to multiplayersquad.com and check out some of the awesome benefits we offer to our official squad mates. We offer a ton of extra ways you can interact with us and the show. We certainly aren't above bribery to earn your support, but we think you'll love all the extras that come with supporting this independent podcast. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. Now on to what's sure to be our greatest episode ever.
Hello, welcome to the Multiplayer Gaming Podcast. You're listening to our weekly episode of This Week in Gaming. We're kind of your gurus or senseis to the world of gaming. Download on, download off. I can't even say that straight. All right, tonight we have a great show for you, covering some gaming we've done this week and what we've heard in the news. I'm your Mr. Miyagi for the night, Todd. And with me, I have Danielson, Paul.
You're the best around. No one's Nothing's ever keep you down.
Oh my goodness. And the ruthless Johnny Karate, Josh.
Aye. Get him a body bag, Johnny.
Does this mean at the end of the episode I get to crane kick Josh to the face?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I thought Paul was very excited.
Can I make a confession? I've never seen The Karate Kid.
What?
Stop the show. We need a new co-host.
I started it once. This is like the third movie I've talked about starting and not finishing on the pod, but I have started it. I've just never seen it all the way through.
What? Have your kids watched it at least?
No.
So not only have you not seen The Karate Kid, but you're also a bad father.
Well, don't worry. I have watched 3 Ninjas and 3 Ninjas Kick Back with my kids.
So you've watched that, but you haven't watched The Karate Kid. Paul, what are you doing with your life?
You know, I was always a big 3 Ninjas fan.
Okay, this also explains why when I've been talking to you guys off the air about Cobra Kai and how awesome this show is, Paul just has like a blank look in his eye and has not given me any feedback on that. So I like that this confession came out live.
Like water off a duck's back. Josh just keeps saying, you got to watch Cobra Kai. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I hear it's good. And no, I have no desire.
Wow.
Man.
That's cool. I knew who Daniel San was, so I can roll with it.
All right, guys. This week has been an insane week. I feel like I've been saying that a lot. But let's start with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Ooh, the multiplayer reveal.
The multiplayer reveal, they had a whole event around this game. A lot of suspense, a lot of old men talking about video games. But yeah, the multiplayer
Wait, isn't
reveal.
That us?
Yes.
We're part of the problem.
I was going to say, like,
we are. I am half those men's age.
Okay.
Like, these are directors to Activision. They could be my dad. I mean, Josh probably could be my dad, but...
No, I'm not that old. But let me tell you about a game called Call of Duty Cold War.
Josh, all right, you've only played Warzone out of Call of Duties.
Yep.
Do you think you're going to pick this game up?
So... my first thought when I was watching the multiplayer reveal was this has a very strong Battlefield vibe to it. And that interests me a lot. So this may be the first Call of Duty game that I actually buy and play.
Man.
Based on the trailers that I've seen, because the campaign trailer looked mighty cool with all of the set pieces and the events going on in that. And then with the multiplayer, what really sealed the deal for me on this multiplayer part was the ocean combat and showing dudes on jet skis dropping grenades into like speedboats as they jump over. And yeah, it looked legit.
It's such a good trailer, but that's the thing, right? Like, how is this going to translate in reality? I have high hopes, but man, that is a good trailer. Plus, I'm a huge fan of Notorious B.I.G., so throwing in Notorious behind the whole thing, it's a great trailer. It definitely got me pumped up. I mean, it's hard to beat ziplining, jumping off early, shooting guys with an assault rifle, and, engaging in combat. So I'm very excited to try it. I just hope it's nearly as fun as the trailer makes it look.
Or even the snowmobile over the guy's head. Mm-hmm. And then he just takes him out in the back.
Because in real life, the snowmobile's going to hit you out of the blue. You're going to die. In real life, you're going to take the zip line and some guy's going to snipe you from halfway across the map. And then you're just going to fall into the ocean.
There's going to be a guy camping the only entrance to the submarine with like a submachine gun, just mowing anyone who enters.
Like, I have to wonder how many, is this, when they do this, is it like a room full of like 40 people where they're like, okay, guys, we're staging this trailer. Now we need everybody to be in position. Okay, go zip lines, to like direct all this? Or is it just, hey, if you have a cool video, like, you're playing the alpha or whatever, like send us the clip and we might put it into this trailer?
No, I think it's literally, let's stage every shot.
Because the game itself. We've all played multiple online shooters, and they're not that exciting. Like, they're fun, but you don't get those super cool moments like that.
But that trailer seemed like a really solid campaign, like a first person like solo campaign, like the guy on a motorcycle and a helicopter going after him, shooting the ground as he like. That's stuff you can actually do in a campaign. So I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a sick campaign. And then it's like, I'm watching the multiplayer. They're not going to have an amazing campaign. They haven't released an amazing campaign in a while. Like, these moments aren't going to exist for me because I'm bad at this game.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm just so curious to see how it actually plays and what the modes are. Or are any of these like early cutscenes before you actually jump into gameplay and stuff like that? I'll be curious. But I did love, like you guys were mentioning, the snowmobiles. There were multiple terrains and different parts of the world. So they like flashed a certain city or a certain country. I did laugh out loud when the one guy yelled, "What the bleep are we doing in Miami?"
That was fun.
That did make me laugh. And I was like, yeah, what are they doing in Miami? And then they're in Angola, they're in Uzbekistan, and you get to see like these different types of weather systems and terrains. And I thought that was kind of fun. You get to play these different maps, I would assume.
And granted, it's been a while outside of Warzone that I've played a Call of Duty game, but they're not known for having vehicles in the midst of like large open map combat. Like, that's been Battlefield's like bread and butter. So
yeah,
I've loved Battlefield. Josh, you've been very open about like those were your games. So I wonder if this is starting to go over a little bit with like the larger maps, more people, and then like introduce vehicles and checkpoints and like some sort of progress in it outside of the typical like team deathmatch on a small map.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. Like I said, the trailer got me interested. There was one part, Paul touched on it with all the different locations, but there was one part where they're in the forest and the dude hops on a motorcycle and it shows him like weaving through the trees. And I got like a total Endor vibe for the speeder bikes flying through like the forest of Endor from Star Wars on that. And I was like, okay, This is super cool right now. Like they're hitting all the trigger points for me. And I've not said this before.
This is going to be a super nerdy thing. Do you know how they filmed that scene? Like the background?
I saw that on Reddit this week too, Todd. I sure did.
Do I need to cover my ears on this? I'm not sure I want to hear this.
No, it's amazing how average it is. They filmed it at a really, really slow frame rate, like one every 5 seconds, I think is what it was. And then a dude just took a camera and walked in the woods. And then when you sped that up to 24 frames or 30 frames a second, it looked like he was going 120 miles an hour.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, just filming at low frame rate and speeding it up, yeah.
It's a dude walking in the woods.
Yeah, he's just holding the camera, walking his way through.
Did he get attacked by Ewoks?
Yes.
That part was
and
real?
That's what
no longer
inspired the
with us.
story.
Yeah.
It's based on a real story.
All right. I have one big comment for Black Ops and Cold War. I haven't seen it. I could have missed it. I'll leave that out there. But where are the zombies?
Oh, they'll have it. It'll come after the fact. That'll be like the DLC or something.
That's Black Ops. Black Ops has zombies, and if there's one thing I love about Call of Duty, it's Nazi zombies, and that's what I want.
You get to kill them twice. Is that why, Todd?
Yeah, once
You get to
when
die
they're
a second
Nazi
time.
and once when they're- Oh, I never thought about it like that, but yeah, absolutely. It's twice as sweet.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a matter of time.
They will.
They'll yeah, I think it'll be an enticing DLC down the road or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, they got my attention, and that's a first for Call of Duty. So, I mean, I don't think it'll be, at least for me, like a day one buy. But if this thing comes out or they keep doing new footage and it looks as good as these two trailers have, I'm in at that point.
So I'm not going to pre-order it as long as all the reviews come back that say it's, an 8 or above or something like that. Like it's a solid Call of Duty game. Like I'll pick it up. All right. Next on the list, we have Lightmatter, which I know nothing about.
Oh, really? Yeah, so Lightmatter is a game that I had not heard of at all. It came out in January of this year, so it's actually been out for quite a while. But it's kind of ironic because not that long ago, we did a Would You Rather question about would you rather see Half-Life 3 or Portal 3 get released. And we all talked about how there's no real game that feels like Portal. And then I just happened to run across Lightmatter, which is literally just a straight up homage to Portal. They talk about aperture science. They have little companion cubes that you can find in the side rooms. They've got the sentry robots. So they straight up know it. They basically follow the exact same puzzle format while you have a guy over an intercom making fun of you, making sarcastic comments about how terrible you're doing in the game. And it really does scratch that Portal itch. It's basically just like a re-envisioning of the exact same game.
I didn't pick it up or play it or anything. I didn't trust you.
I trusted Paul, but I'm not sure I should have either. So
really?
So
crazy.
I guess they have a free demo. You can play the first hour of the game for free. So you can just straight up download the game and then they let you play the first hour of it. It might have just been my mindset. The game, it's like, not to take anything away from the game, but it uses light instead of portals. So if you touch any shadows at all, like even a little sliver, you die, I guess. But I just wasn't in the mood for a puzzle game, I think. Like the game itself seemed really well done. The humor is there. The graphics are fine, that kind of stuff. But I played it for, I think, 30 minutes, and then I was just kind of like, I don't really want to mess with, like, flashlights, and then I uninstalled.
Well, the game does progress to where you've got conveyor belts, you've got jump puzzles. Todd, your favorite.
I'm in.
And you should be in. But as soon as I saw that the game had a free demo for the first hour, that's all I needed to know. Like, that tells you they're confident enough that the game is good. They'll let you play for free. They're not trying to sucker you out of your money. 93% of people on Steam gave it a positive review. But the part that made me laugh is that I did play it for free at first. And once you beat the first part, you have to walk through a metal detector at a security checkpoint. And the guy on the intercom tells you, you have to empty all of your pockets before you pass through. And then it pulls up a Steam window saying, if you'd like to continue playing, go ahead and pay for the full game. And so I did. And then it goes back in the game, and then the doors open and you get to walk through. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. I would have never thought that you could actually incorporate that element in the game. So that's how creative I feel like the game is.
How long did it take to beat?
I would guess maybe like 7 hours. I mean, it's probably about on pace with the other Portal games for how long it takes. I did notice that actually in the beginning, it starts off very easy and then the difficulty kind of ramps up, but then pretty soon you're just kind of used to all the mechanics in the game. And then I actually found the last third of the game to be easier. I only ever had to stop and look up a guide once, simply because after about 15, 20 minutes, I just kind of was starting to grow bored. So I looked up one solution, but all the rest I felt like had a pretty nice progression of difficulty.
So I think it was $20, right?
Yeah,
for the full game.
It's $20 for the full game.
Is it a buy?
If you like Portal, yeah.
Maybe it was the color scheme that I didn't like, because I love puzzle
Was it
games.
too dark for you,
just
Josh?
Black and white.
Was it a dark game?
Yeah, you know what? I don't like
too
dark
dark?
games, guys. In this game, this game was just about light. And
All right, identity theft is not a joke, Josh. Millions of people are affected. No, the game is a little monochromatic. You do get some greens and some dark reds. It's not a very colorful
my
game.
Goodness.
But that's because the focus is on where you can or can't jump or walk. So they had to make it clear with light and shadow.
Sure.
Yeah.
bright games still have shadows.
Sure.
Truth coming from Josh. All right. This is something I've been waiting all week to talk about. The new Xbox Series S came out with a price point of $300, which
that was surprising.
that's almost old news at that point, but still, it's worth saying $300 for a next-gen console is a nice price point.
I was surprised. Now that's not the X, so don't get confused. It's the
Right.
S, but which is
It
not
doesn't have a
quite as
disk
good.
drive. The hard drive is only 500 gigabytes. The graphics card and the CPU are a little bit lower tier than the X, but it's still.
It is next gen still.
It said I forget. It was 1080 or 1440p. That was
Pretty
like
sure it's 1440.
was the resolution that it could do, and then it could like upscale to 4K, but it wasn't true 4K.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. Yeah, the price point is great. You know, if you are a little bit of a budget gamer, you know, building a gaming PC is horribly expensive. And so if you compare that against paying $300 for a console you're going to be able to use for 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have my original PS4 that I got the week the PlayStation released. It's still the original model. So I have to delete every program to download Warzone, you know, because it can only fit one Call of Duty game on there. But, you know, it lasts such a long time at such a cheap price point. You got to love it.
I think that's a funny point, Paul, because nowadays you can open up your Xbox, PlayStation, and switch out the hard drives.
Right.
With these next-gen consoles and using NVMe drives and like all this funky like memory that talks straight to the GPU or whatever, those days are gone.
Yeah, the hardware is getting much more proprietary in these things.
And there was a leak of one of the 1 terabyte expansion packs for memory on the Xbox, and the price on at least the photo was $200 for an extra terabyte because it was an NVMe drive that you could basically plug in like a memory stick, like an old school PlayStation memory card.
Nice.
But that's like, if that's true and it's $200 to upgrade your storage, that's kind of crazy.
Why not just buy the X then at that point?
Sure.
Why buy a $300 console and then pay $200 to upgrade it? You just buy the $500 console and you don't have to worry about it.
You would still, I think the difference is 500 gigs versus 1 terabyte, so you would still end up with an extra 500 gigs for the same price, but then worse hardware.
I know this because I bought one recently. Like a terabyte NVMe drive is $100.
Yeah.
So why is it $200 if you're buying it for an Xbox?
You know, maybe over the next, maybe that's right off the gate, and over the next 2 years they're going to be mass produced and, you know, be $60 down the line.
NVMe drives are already mass produced.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's a proprietary slot. It's like it's not a strict NVMe drive that like you're slotting into the side.
What they need to do is let you pay for that $200 NVMe drive by paying $40 a month for 2 years.
All right, so I think you're alluding to this.
Yep.
So there's a payment plan you can get. So for $25 a month for 2 years, you get an Xbox Series S, or it's $35 for an Xbox Series X. But so let's talk about the $25 one, because I feel like more people are going to be attracted to that. So $25 a month for 2 years, so 24 months, you get a $300 Xbox, and then you get Xbox Live Gold for 2 years, and the Xbox Live Game Pass that comes with all of the Xbox 360, Xbox One games, and then they also released, which was just an amazing announcement, it comes with EA Basic Tier, which has The Sims 4, and what else do you need?
Madden 15.
Madden,
the old
15,
sports games.
16, 17,
you get all of them.
18, 19, 20, but not 21. They have to cut it off at some point. No, it's basically the last year of sports games. You got Titanfall in there. You have Anthem. You have
so all these old games that nobody plays anymore.
you have a lot of old games. But all right, but for $25 a month for 2 years.
All right. Math time. Paul.
Yeah.
$25 a month for 2 years. What does that equal out to?
So 24 months, 24 times 25. I actually wanted to bring up the calculator for that.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
$600.
$600. So you pay $600 for a $300 console?
No.
What?
There's a little more to it than that.
The Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, that's right. They
costs
still make you pay for online
a
access.
Month. Well, no. It's online access plus all of the like vaulted games, which Halo Infinite comes in there. The new Fable comes in there. The new Forza comes in that package. So, Paul, what's $10 times 24? Pull out the calculator.
Well, you're getting to almost exactly what I was going to say. So you're getting a $300 machine, right? So you're paying $600. You've got the $300 extra. Divide that by 24 months. So you're paying $12.50 a month to get the Game Pass, the EA access, the Xbox Live, all of that for $12.50 a month, which is not a bad deal.
Which it's $15 if you pay outright.
Right. So you get a little bit of a discount there by bundling it.
We're talking about $50 over the course of 2 years. It's not make or break, but the idea that you're not making people pay $300 like on Christmas to get this, and it's just $25 a month, which I can make work in my budget, like without trying extremely hard. Like, this is a no-brainer for me. I'm not going to pay the $300 up front. I'm going to do this because I can play all of these games on PC and all of these games on my Xbox. Boom.
I think it's weird. I mean, I get it from a financial standpoint, but why are consoles still making people pay for online access? Like to me, that seems like it's the next evolution, though, is like, let people play. Like, you're paying $60 for these games. Like, I'm a PC guy. I do like consoles, but I primarily game on PC. But there's no PC game that exists where you have to pay to be able to play this game online. And then on the flip side, how many PC games are there where you can pick them up for $15, $20? Like, thousands more than console. Now, I'm not saying you can't pick a console game up for $15, $20, on their e-store or whatever, but it's a weird model. It seems like it's archaic at this point.
Right. And I think that's why, like, you're going to pay a little bit more, but the $35 a month for 2 years, and then you get the X where you get a CD drive, it's a little bit better of a console, and then you can pick up that $5, $10, $15 game, plug it in, and then, like, just play it and not have to worry about, is it on sale on the game store or whatnot. Like, that seems like still a really strong deal, because that's only $10 more. That's $35 a month, which, like, isn't terribly bad.
No, it's not. And initially, my gut reaction was to push back on this, because I'm not a fan of this new model that everyone is using, that you can't just buy software. Everyone wants you to rent it. So they don't want you to buy Microsoft Office. They want you to pay $20 a month for the rest of your life to have access. So initially I pushed back a little bit on this, but honestly, for $12.50 a month, and you have access to so many hundreds of games, I do like it. I'm not crazy about renting software in general, but at that low of a price, you're going to be able to play multiple games that normally would cost $40, $50, $60, and you're going to have access to all of that. So, you know, I've kind of come around on it. I do think it's a good deal, even though I don't plan to get an Xbox or use it myself.
And for me, I like Forza. I'm not going to pay $60 for it. I might pay $20 for it a couple years later. Mm-hmm. With the Game Pass, I can get Forza on launch day.
Sure, it's a cherry on top.
Yeah, Halo Infinite, I'm going to pay $60 out of the gate to, like, subtract that from any like, you know, budgeting thing we're doing. And then, like, for me, I might be in the minority, but the EA last year of sports games is a cherry on top.
What happens if a year later you go, man, PlayStation 5 is killing it. I really wish I had bought a PS5. But I'm trapped into another year of paying for my Xbox Series.
You can buy out the contract and then sell it.
But does that contract include the extra year of games? Like, that's my question, right?
Ask my lawyer, Josh.
Yeah, I'm just saying see, there's the other downside to this whole, like, pay per month plan thing, is, like, you don't own it. And if you don't own it, then do you have the rights to sell it? And if you do, then what happens to the built-in game plan that you just paid for? That you know, do you see what I'm saying?
I think you're thinking too hard.
Dude, don't you accuse me of that.
No one's ever
I've been called a lot of things, but thinking too hard, that's where I draw the line, Todd. Okay.
I don't know why that just killed me.
If I could throw my headset right now, I would, but I can't, because I'm a professional and I'm going to see this show to the end.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Am I the only one who's going to go with an Xbox?
Yeah,
Are you guys going to get an Xbox?
No, I'm a PlayStation guy all the way. I'm just sad we won't be able to play with you on consoles online. It'll just be me and Josh.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe this is working out.
Good. Hey.
How dare you? In between me and Josh, Paul, you want to play with Josh? Are you sure?
Boy.
Paul's like,
answer.
No, okay,
Answer.
I don't. Paul's like, this situation sucks all around.
I need an answer. No, all right. So my thing is, like, I don't care about the PlayStation exclusives. God of War.
Oh, this is a bad take.
Never been into.
Can we end the show before?
This is a bad take.
Yeah.
Uncharted. I've
Todd, I'm gonna let you finish, but God of War was one of the best games of all time.
Yes. Tell it, Paul.
I'm gonna channel my inner Kanye there.
All right. Well, that is our show for this week. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not subscribed, make sure to go into your podcasting app and subscribe to get fresh content twice a week. If you're interested in finding out more information, you can find us on our website, multiplayerpodcast.com, Patreon, multiplayersquad.com. All of our socials are multiplayer pod. You know how many multiplayer pods there are out in the wild?
Only one good one.
Several bad ones.
Yeah.
And then one good one. Not us.
I was going to say, which podcast is it? I want to listen to it.
All right, guys. See you Monday.
See ya.
See you guys.
All right, not to go into a rant because we're way over time.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is all getting cut, but go ahead. Go ahead, Todd.
Oh, is it really? Are you going to cut all of this?
Yes.
I don't know. We're at 38
Okay.
minutes.
30 of that was Todd's Xbox rant.
I'm just going to delete all of Xbox. It's just all going to be gone.
It's going to be a 15-minute
Yeah.
episode.
Todd's like, wow, that podcast was a lot shorter than I thought.